Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame TV. It's Brady Kannon and Bryan Leonard here with you. The Tuesday B team earlier today. The S team was here of Steve and Scott. Back for more Pregame.tv videos as football is heavy upon us. Still the preseason for the NFL and college coming up quick as well. Bryan will have another college play for you this evening, and I'll focus on the NFL. We're going to take a look at the NFL first. It's preseason week number 3, and I want to look at the New York Jets, who will be hosting the New York Giants, obviously the same stadium there in the Meadowlands, but the Jets technically are the home team. They will be hosting their in-state rival, the New York Giants. Game 4 for the Giants, Game 3 for the Jets, and they both come in undefeated to this game, Bryan.
Yeah, they do. And you take a look at the Giants, you never know they were undefeated. The first half of these games, in all 3 games, they've been outscored by 19 points. But yet they're 3-0.
I know, and I was looking at that game last week against the Colts, and they were getting killed. And then all of a sudden you looked at the final score and you went, what happened there?
I believe it was 26-0, and they scored 27 straight points, or something outrageous.
26-3 maybe, or something.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a blowout.
And if you've watched the Giants in the first half of these games, they're just not picking up the new offense at all.
Well, that's what I want to talk about. Ben McAdoo, the new offensive coordinator for the Giants, and they're having trouble, it seems, picking up his system. Still some holes in the offensive line. Eli Manning has struggled, just 1 of 7 in his last game, and prior to that against the Steelers, he was 0 for 2.
Bob McAdoo, you bringing up the old Buffalo Braves.
One of your guys, huh?
Yeah, back in my day. Yeah, that dates me. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. Eli's really having problems with it, and this is really interesting because they need to have a really good offensive game here, because like next week, most of the time you don't play a lot of your starters in the final week before the preseason, and then they have to start into the regular season, so it's a must that they do very well offensively in this game.
And I think the Jets have been a little bit impressive, surprising. They typically don't do too well in the preseason, especially in their first game. They came out and got a win under their belt. Then they went into Cincinnati and got another win as an underdog. We always know Rex Ryan is going to focus on defense, but I think he's made an emphasis to get that offensive side of the ball cranking. They haven't been scoring a ton of points, but they're getting the W's.
Yeah, it's interesting when you break down these games by first half, second half. The Giants in the first half, the offense hasn't been very good. In the second half, when the bench players come in, they seem to be catching on a little bit better. The other defenses haven't been very good. The Jets have been just the opposite. The defense for the Jets, the first half, it's been okay. But in 2 preseason games, nobody scored in the second half of Jets games. So the Jets defense of the second half, with all the bench players, are playing really well. The Giants offense of the second half is playing really well. But neither one of them will have many minutes in this game because you'll be seeing the starters most of the contest.
Right, and it's interesting. I mean, that's got to be a little bit of something Rex Ryan can hang his hat on, is the fact that for the entire game, whether it's the starters or the second or third team, his defense is playing pretty well.
Yeah, it definitely has.
You ready to make this one official?
Let's do it.
All right, the New York Jets hosting their in-state rival, the New York Giants, on Friday, preseason week number 3. Both teams come in undefeated. The Giants actually played in the Hall of Fame game. They're 3-0. The Jets are 2-0. The Jets playing host in this game, and that makes a little bit of a difference here, as the Giants in Game 3 are 0-1 recently, 12-18 against the spread over the course of time, and as an away team, just 1-3 against the spread. Whereas the Jets in Game 3 are pretty good, 20-10 against the spread long term, and 1-0 recently. Also, if you take a look at the series, the Jets own the series 16-6 straight up against their in-state rival, the Giants. They're 4-0 against the NFC. I just think the Jets have more to play for here. They've always been the stepchild in the state of New York. The Giants seem to have a lot of struggles right now on offense. Eli still trying to pick up Ben McAdoo's offensive scheme. The offensive line has some holes. I think they're still working on it, and I don't know if they're quite ready for this dress rehearsal that they call Week 3. Whereas the Jets, their offense hasn't been outstanding, but their defense is really holding them in games, and I think they'll have an emphasis on this game, again, against their rival Giants. I think they take this game more importantly than the Giants do. A couple of other trends for you. The Jets are 21-6 against the spread as underdogs versus a team that is off a straight-up and against the spread win, which, of course, the Giants are. The Giants 1-6 away versus a team off of a straight straight-up underdog win in the postseason. And we talked about it earlier. The Jets were in Cincinnati last week and won that game outright. Jets are getting a point in this game. They are an underdog. That thing may change. I think the public will probably back the Giants here just on reputation, but I really think the Jets are the better team coming in. Just, better team. I use that term loosely in the preseason, but I think they're firing on more cylinders than the Giants are currently. I think the Giants still have a lot of work to do. We're going with the Jets, and we're going to take a point. Always a good recipe when you have two in-state rivals to take the underdog. We're going Jets +1 this Friday, preseason week 3. What do you think?
I got nothing on this one. I'll take your advice.
I think if you look historically, the Jets perform well in this spot, and I think they come in just a little better position to continue or to move forward into the regular season, whereas, like I say, I think the Giants still have some work to do.
Oh, they definitely have some work to do offensively.
We will see. We'll be back with a college play. It's Bryan's turn. Brady Kannon and Bryan Leonard, the B team, here on a Tuesday. Stick with us. It's pregame.tv.